All right, in this video, I'm going to show you how to stand out on social media with your content, regardless of your experience, regardless of your expertise. And this video will probably pretty clearly outline where people go wrong so you don't follow that same path, so you can actually get the views and the leads and all that stuff that you want. This was going to be about standing out on social media, okay? So most people, when they get into this business, for whatever reason, they go out there and try to get views. They try to go viral. They try to get as much traffic as possible. Don't do that, right? What you got to do is you got to focus on building your tribe. And there's a saying that goes, you only need 1,000 true fans to have a wildly successful business. So build your tribe person by person. And I know that sounds scary, but if you can talk to your neighbor, you should be good here. Because that's where people screw up. They try to become a version of what works instead of just a version of themselves that's willing to create content and help other people, right? And your tribe is out there, right? As long as you stay true to yourself and try to help them in whatever way you can, as long as you try to share some sort of information with them that they can benefit from, and I'm going to show you some frameworks for that in just a moment, right? Then you become just like the first grader showing the kindergartner around the new school. That's all this is, really. And your tribe is out there, right? If you're weird, there's weird people out there. If you're awesome, there's awesome people out there. If you're scared to go on social media, but you're going to do it anyways because you need to make a change financially, talk about that, because guess what? There's a lot of people who want to make a change financially but are scared to go on social media. So your tribe is out there. Build it brick by brick, and that's when the results come faster than most people can imagine. It's just most people don't see results because they try to emulate other people or get rich quick forever, right? They're like, I'm going to get 1 million views and make a bunch of money today. Yeah, well, it's not going to happen, right? Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to choose your leadership style. I know it sounds really, really scary, but your leadership style doesn't have to be scary at all. There's 4 types of leadership styles for the purposes of marketing courses and transformation offers on social media. We have a leader, and that's the one that most beginners will probably want to avoid. I might consider myself a leader, someone with experience, expertise, who goes out there and tells people what they need to know in order to be successful. Okay, that's okay. There's 3 other potential leadership styles that you can choose from. A lot of people like the crusader. The crusader is the person who builds in public. They document their journey. They go out there and say, I'm trying to figure it out right now. I'll let you know what's happening, what's working, what's not working, what I was scared of and what wasn't so scary, what I wasn't scared of but maybe should have been, all that stuff. And people love that because it allows them to experience this journey of becoming a digital marketer, becoming an entrepreneur through your eyes first, and it's much safer that way. If you don't want to be messing in public like a crusader might do, be a reporter. Just look into the space and see what experts are saying and then report it back to your tribe. Go through your course and see what the experts are saying and then report it back to your tribe. I call this the LDT formula for affiliate marketing, and that just stands for learn, do, and teach. If you come into any program, learn the information, go out there and execute, and then teach it to other people in your own words through your own experiences, that's the formula for success, right? It literally is. I used to have a podcast, backstory, I used to have a podcast where I interviewed successful marketers. We did 86 episodes before my partner had to take a different path and we could no longer continue it. And almost everyone who had made 6, 7, maybe even 8 figures, yeah, there was one guy who made 8 figures, followed the LDT formula. They learned something, they did it, and then they taught it. They deciphered, okay? So you can be a reporter or you can be a reluctant hero. You can kind of really add some theatrics to it and say, hey, no one's telling you how to make money. I'm going to do it. Even though I'm just figuring it out, even though I just started, someone needs to do this, and that's going to be me. And then you look like the hero, right? And people want to follow you. So choose your leadership style. Choose one. Stick with it. The next thing people do when they get on social media is they create a lot of growth content, hacks, tips and tricks, three tips to do this, right? They research stuff and then they just regurgitate it. Education, how to do this, how to do this, how to do that. Or they model trends, right? This is growth content. This is content that typically can get a lot of views. But the problem is growth content doesn't work now. It might get you some views, but it's not going to build your tribe, right? And if you look or think back to previous videos in this free course, we need people to spend time with us. So they need to see a video and think, oh, I want to watch that person again, or I want to go read their emails. That's not happening with growth content anymore. because everybody's an expert on social media now. ChatGPT can give us a better answer in 30 seconds. It's just been played out. So don't chase the views. Don't create growth content. You can still teach and educate, but tips, education must be combined with deciphering. Now, here's the framework, here's the strategy, or here's how to, but here's what I tried and failed at. Here's what you're thinking you need. Here's what you actually need. Here's what matters and why the rest doesn't. And teach through your own experience, right? You don't have to be an expert this way. You just have to share what you learned as you went through the process in a way that can benefit other people, right? Okay, so I call this conversion content. So there's 4 pillars of conversion content. Obviously, you can pause these and take notes, but I'm just going to go through them quickly to be respectful of your time so we can get to the final video in this series where we talk about the gap that most marketers are missing, and it's costing them a lot, okay? Conversion content, transformations or epiphanies. You're going to see a common theme here. What did you realize as you were going through this? What did you learn about the industry that made it seem different than you originally thought? What type of shifts are you feeling, not just externally with now you have a business, but internally, right? Do you feel more present in all of your life? Do you feel more disciplined in all of your life, right? Before and after moments. All should be easy stuff. And that's what you're going to find about conversion content is it's easier to create because you're not being an expert. You're just literally sharing your thoughts. So it makes content go a lot faster. Conversion content, number 3, solutions to specific problems. Okay, I'm going to tell you a quick story. One of the most successful marketers that I met in 2021, she was a stay-at-home mom, and she wanted to sell digital marketing courses as an affiliate to other stay-at-home moms. And she used to always tell this story that just sticks out of my mind, and it used to be a story about how she hated going to the grocery store, and she always had a budget because her husband worked hard, but they had to budget so they didn't run out of money. And she would get to the produce aisle, and she would look at the strawberries, and she would see the organic strawberries were like $8.99 a pound, and then she would see the other ones, the non-organic strawberries, at $2.99 a pound. And she used to stand there in the grocery store and just almost in pain with her kids in the cart. She was like, I just wish I could feed my kids all organic fruit. But it's not just the strawberries. Everything organic is more expensive. So I would always get the non-organic fruit so I didn't blow the budget, and I hated it. Okay, so that's why I started digital marketing. Okay, that's a solution to a very specific problem. But the reason that was magical is because every mom who stood in that grocery store and said, I can't believe organic strawberries are $8.99 a pound. I can't believe organic lettuce is twice as expensive. I can't believe organic eggs are 6 times as expensive, right? They feel that. And they see this marketer who turned to affiliate marketing, buying a course, whatever, as the solution to their specific problem. So things like that from your own life, super, super powerful. I just put some examples down here of conversion content on the bottom of some of these that I created that did well, that got 7,000 views, which I know is not viral. But the point of the story is we're not trying to go viral. We're trying to resonate with a very specific group of people who match our target market. So if we get 7,000 people who are connected to us because we're creating conversion content, well, we're well on our way to having our 1,000 true fans. Pillar number 2 is insights, pattern recognition, market truths, pulling back the curtain. Here's what's actually happening type content. Basically, that just tells people that you know more than them about affiliate marketing. And that should be easy to do because the moment you're on day 1, the moment you get through this free course, you're going to know more than someone who's never got started. So just get over the fear, shed the beginner mentality, and you're going to be much better because leaders get paid, right? Okay. And the final one is personal stories and opinions, right? This is all about positioning and polarity, right? If you are totally against something that other marketers do, then be totally against that, right? Allow the people who are for it to say, you're no good, I don't like you. That's fine. We'll disqualify them. But allow the people who agree with you to feel your passion and say, I'm on their side, right? That's very connecting. Just like sharing, before and after moments, maybe even things we did wrong in transformations and epiphanies is very connecting. Vulnerability is a great human connector. When people see us admit our mistakes, you look more human to them. They're more likely to connect with you, and they're less likely to then be afraid about making those mistakes, which will then make them more likely to want to buy your course in the future, okay? Positioning and polarity, they just want to know who this person is and do they align with you. I mean, this really is a game of selling yourself first. On social media, so your experiences, your beliefs, your stances, your hot takes, your values, your standards, your boundaries, stories with a point of view, right? Like maybe you just committed to never starting a digital marketing business when your kids are at home. And then every other mom who doesn't want this to become a thing that takes them away from their kids, or even every other dad will be like, hey, I'm on this person's side. Let's see what they're all about. This type of stuff is very, very powerful. The biggest hiccup that I see people see is thinking they need to get millions of views, looking into the market and see what's working and thinking, ooh, how do I get those? What video do I need to create to get all those? Or how do I become more like them? Right? That's usually the death sentence for marketers right there. This stuff right here is the secret. Okay? So really cool. Time to scroll onto the final video and we'll show you how we pull us all together with